This is Woody Grant.
We are now authorized to pay $1 million to Woodrow T. Grant of Billings, Montana.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. The whole crew is here. Ben Mankiewicz, Matt Atchity, Christy, Lemire, Alonso, Duralde. Holiday season is upon us. A lot of good movies to talk about. We will begin with the only movie, let me check, the only movie named for a state, Alexander Payne's Nebraska.
No, there's a new state called Hunger Games.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so Nebraska, this is the latest from Alexander Payne. Hello there. Bruce Dern stars as an alcohol-addled Korean War vet who believes he has won $1 million from one of those sweepstakes letters that we all just toss in the trash ordinarily, and he wants to schlep from his home in Billings, Montana, all the way to Lincoln, Nebraska, where the awards office is, and wants to walk there, the 900-mile trek. But his son, played by Will Forte, insists on driving him for a little father-son bonding, perhaps. Take a look.
This is his son.
You didn't win anything. It's a complete scam. So you gotta stop this, okay?
I'm running out of time.
How much longer is he gonna be around? And what's the harm in letting him have his little fantasy for just a couple more days?
So they can't drive, he can't drive, Bruce Dern can't, because he's sort of banned from driving because of the age and the alcohol addledness. So nobody will let him drive, even though one of the things is that he loves to drive and he loves to drive his pickup truck. I couldn't love this movie more. It's
I figured that you would.
impossible
Yeah.
to.
So great, and
so
I do not understand these critics who are like, oh, Alexander Payne, he's so condescending to Midwesterners, and this movie is so smug and blah, blah. Like, no, he's such a humanist. I mean, his movies, I love his characters, he loves his characters. They're flawed and they do awful things sometimes, but you really give a shit about them and you empathize with them, and I adore this movie so much.
I disagree. I think he takes some cheap shots at Midwesterners.
They're his people.
I understand that, but I think that he takes, like the cousins, like the two overweight cousins on the couch. Like
I thought they were funny characters.
I didn't. They're funny, but they're not real people. I mean, or if they are real people, I think he is definitely looking down on those people.
Why is it that and this is a legitimate question. I don't share your belief, but I hear what you're saying. But why is it that we can see two sort of dim-witted, overweight, basically, I don't remember if they were identical twins or not, but similar brothers who were cousins to Will Forte in the movie, who were dim and dumb, but a couple of Goombas in a movie set in New York who were incredibly dim and dumb, and we don't think we're looking down on those characters. You don't have that same reaction.
Yeah, if this were Alexander Payne's first movie and he was a young indie filmmaker coming out of Nebraska, would you say that? Or is it only because now he's Hollywood, that means he can't show those characters without being a jerk?
I don't have a problem with him looking down on them, and I think that that's fine. I take issue with people saying that he's not looking down on anyone, that he's not poking fun, and that there's not. I think he absolutely is trying to skewer a certain type of Midwesterner. I don't think that there's a problem with that, but I don't think that he's embracing and saying, look how awesome all these people are.
No, not at all.
I'm
Why must there be embracing it? I think that he dares to rip the lid off of the mythology of the Midwest, of people who were like hardworking and decent to the core.
Life,
right,
yeah.
They're better than everybody else. They're not. They're bastards too, and they're selfish and they're greedy and they're cruel. So I think he's saying that, and it defies our expectations of a region.
Because of course there's so many Midwesterners in that movie who fit the stereotype, although he manages to not make them caricatures. They're like fully developed people who are kind and good and decent. There happen to be a couple of...
I think that there are some caricatures, and then there are some that are real people and well-defined, and I think really interesting and defy expectations. But I do think that there are some absolute caricatures in this movie that I think he relies on for some cheap laughs.
Is Bruce Dern a caricature?
No, absolutely not.
He's amazing.
No, but I think like the cousins, some of the uncles, like some of the neighbors,
bad
like
sweaters.
Right, like some of that, I think he's just kind of taking cheap shots at.
I felt like he was mining the area for comedy, and I didn't feel like that it was specifically, I think it was just that he was finding humor in these kinds of people who are not far afield from people who probably exist, I'm going to venture to say.
I like Christy's point so much that I can't remember what it was now, but I know it was a good point. And I just remember.
Midwest.
I like that there was. I like that he messed up that mythology. That these were such honest, real characters, where you see some of the characteristics that we assigned to the Midwest, and they're there, but that he manages to make all of them so much more, I think, incredibly complicated. And the brothers, okay, but they're idiots. They're a couple of idiots, and that's from a family that sits in front of the TV the entire time and clearly never asked anybody to do anything, and they've been to jail, if I recall, and And then it led to one of the great family fight scenes ever. I mean, talk about that fight was the most credible fight maybe ever filmed.
And you need that because so much of it is it's shot in black and white, shot beautifully in black and white. But so much of it does feel kind of languid because they are on this road trip, and then that fight scene really just like bursts through with a lot of energy, some silly energy.
And it's a slow burn because I think that while the movie does sort of take its time, the ending is so great. It's one of those great Alexander Payne endings. And this is the first movie that he's made without his usual co-writer, Jim Taylor, first-time screenwriter named Bob Nelson. But it just delivers so strongly, and it all cumulatively means so much. And as Bruce Dern is great in this, Will Forte is terrific in this. I got to give it up for June Squibb. June
Give her the Oscar
Squibb,
nomination now.
who
She's
plays
so good.
Bruce Dern's wife, is hysterically funny. She's like this. She's the kind of woman who never like lets a grudge go. Remembers all the dirt from the past. So there's this great scene where they go to the family cemetery and she just reads everybody in the ground.
Like how she loves.
But there's a moment. I'm sorry because because there's the worst moment in the movie is in that scene. The
Where she
only
flashes
fault.
the
I
tombstone?
hated that scene. Like, and I instantly got taken out of the movie there. So I thought she was there. June Squibb was in the worst scene of the movie, the only scene for me that didn't work, and for whatever it's worth, a number of the people who I saw the movie with that night, and then she was in two of the best scenes of the movie. The way she ends that fight is the best, and then just when you think that maybe she's completely hideous, there's an intense moment of incredible humanity that's totally credible from her later. So I mean, I agree that she's great. I just, like in editing, I would have been like, nope, I tried it, gave a shot, shot it, didn't like it, would have taken that out. But that just makes it not a 10 for me.
I just like the casting of her. She looks so sweet. And just her demeanor, everything she says is just so painfully honest, it defies all your expectations. Also, the casting of Will Forte, I think it's pretty inspired because you know him from Saturday Night Live. You know, a certain kind of character, right? And here he has to be sort of like the quiet, kind of frazzled, straight man at the center.
I think that if you were going to have a conversation about the best dramatic performances from Saturday Night Live alum, I think this performance is in that conversation.
No question.
Yeah, I think he was really great. Yeah, so I gave it a 9.5, and I could easily have been I could be talked up to 10. I thought it was just
well, you
outstanding.
did start out saying you couldn't love this more, and you're only giving it a 9.
A 9.5.
I'm giving it a 9.
Hey now.
I'm saying 9.
Yeah.
9.2.
I'm giving it a, what did I say? 7.8.
Boo.
Yeah, it's an 8.9. I would love to see it get a nomination. I'd love to see it win. And of course, a guy named Bob Nelson would write his first screenplay of a movie called Nebraska.
91% on the tomato.
91%.
Yeah,
yeah.
kicking ass. Thanks, everybody.